credibility statement. As you see there in your manual, it's got a few applications of credibility statement. It could be in your written correspondence when you're writing maybe an email to get an appointment. It could be on the phone as you're trying to get an appointment. It could be opening up the meeting. You know, this is part of your rapport building. You could go through one of the CARES, that acronym, attention getters, or you could use this as you get straight into it. Okay. Now, it's got a very simple structure. So I think on page 1.11, you have the worksheet there. So think about what are some general benefits of using your company, your service. You're a service provider. What are some general benefits about what you do? Then think about what are some specific results you've had for other clients. That's where the client interview is very, very handy. If you're new, you may not know that information, but you try and dig it out. Who have we worked for that's been very successful? What's a case study or what's a reference I can make to an existing client who's been very happy with our services, who's seen the results? Okay. Then you might make a suggestion, okay, that we've done wonderful work for XYZ company. The suggestion might be, maybe we could do the same for you. Now the transition here is to get permission to ask questions. In order for me to understand that, may I ask you a few questions? Because people don't want to be interrogated. They don't want to answer questions unless they think there's some value in it for them. You just turning up with a whole raft of questions is not very exciting for the client, particularly if they think you're going to come and give them a pitch. If they think you're going to come and give them all the guff about your lineup, and you start asking questions, they might be like, hang on a minute, I'm expecting a pitch, what am I getting all these questions for? You've got to set the questions up. If it's a Japanese company, invariably they are expecting a pitch. They're not expecting questions. So you definitely want to get permission to ask questions. Okay. So in this case, for example, Dale Carnegie Training Japan is part of a global network where in 90 countries around the world we teach in more than 30 languages. We specialise in getting behaviour change through our training to help companies achieve outperformance. We were very successful working with a very high-level, high-end Italian luxury brand. After our sales training, they told me they got a 30% increase in their sales. Maybe we could do the same for you, I'm not sure. In order to help me know that, would you mind if I ask you a few questions? In fact, you're going to ask them a truckload of questions in reality. But if you say, would you mind if I ask you a truckload of questions, it doesn't sound so appealing. So you just say a few questions. So they are more likely to give you permission to say, okay. And then you start to try and understand their business and their problem and look for the solution. But you won't be able to do that unless you get that information. Got it? So take a moment, design your opening statement, what are the general benefits of your company, what you do in the business. Look for some specific examples if you have them, and if you don't, you can just make it like XYZ company. Just, you know, create it for the moment until you can fill in with a real situation. And you want a real situation. Don't just make this stuff up. You know, if you refer to somebody got a benefit from your business, expect they'll contact that person and check it out. You know, just don't make stuff up because you'll get zero trust from that point onwards. It's got to be real, it's got to be genuine. Okay? Then the suggestion is, well, maybe we do the same thing. Have a look at what you've done and we'll keep working on it. Credibility statement is a very, very useful thing. When you're at a function, networking function, and someone meets you and they look at your card and they say, well, what does your company do? This is what you start off with. General benefits, specific benefits. You're not going to be asking many questions on the moment there, but you're giving them that short burst very compact, like an elevator speech type of thing. So just when you hear Aaron's sentence there, did you notice that as you got to the end of the sentence, the strength went down? You started, tone, strength, volume, all started to go down. Be aware of that. Don't let it go down at the end. Go up at the end. Don't drop off and just let it drop off like that. Take it up a little bit. Try it again. All right, as I say, semantics matter in sales. The content of what you say, how you say it, very critical. Most of you are adding way too much verbiage here in what you're saying. Shut it down. Keep it tight. The less you speak, the more money you'll make. That's the bottom line. The less you talk, the more money you'll make. The more you talk, the less money you'll make. Just keep that rule in mind. You want the client talking, not you doing the talking. Your job is just to guide the conversation and ask good questions. And then think of brilliant solutions that are going to bring huge value to the buyer. That's our job. Okay? All right? Okay, so we'll let you have a little look at what you've written there, adjust a little bit, okay, and then we'll try it again in pairs. Got the idea? Give you a couple of minutes to adjust it, then we'll be in pairs and we'll try it again. Now, the reason for that is you put the, you put the nice bit up the front, then you put the burden at the back. It's in context. You put the burden up the front, no context, but the benefit comes last. It's better to put the benefit early. So they're listening. Now, how do you know they're talented? She just said they're talented. Do you believe that? Yeah. No, she said they're talented and award-winning. But she said they're talented. How do you know they're talented? Do you believe they're talented?
I believe Joy.
I would. If I heard that, someone said to me, we are a talented team, I'd say, well, that sounds like crap to me. But if she said we're an award-winning team, I'd believe that because it's
illustration
provable.
on talents, yes.
It's provable, right? So if you drop the talent part and just say we're an award-winning team, it implies talent. But every time you say, oh, we're a really, really talented bunch of people over the place, really rock down there, we're incredible. I'm the client, I go, yeah, I don't think so. It just sounds like you're beating your own drum. It sounds like typical salesperson talk. We're an award-winning team. That says everything. That's provable. You've got, here's the award. We're a talented team. And maybe, maybe not. Maybe that's just you trying to rip me up. So be careful about that sort of sales talk that you can't prove. Believe it. You've got award-winning. That's enough. That's more than enough.